Good evening and welcome to the Scottish Parliament.
Ken McIntosh, and as presiding officer here in the Scottish Parliament, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all into the very heart of Holyrood and our wonderful debating chamber for the final of the 2019 National Gaelic Schools debate. A particularly warm welcome to you listening in live on BBC Radio Nun Gael, and a big thank you for joining us. As presiding officer, I'm very pleased indeed that this prestigious competition has once again returned to Holyrood, and it has my full support. This is a particularly special year for the Scottish Parliament and the National Schools Gaelic debate, as we both celebrate our 20th anniversaries. And it is only right that we mark this significant occasion by holding this debate for the first time in this chamber. Those of you who have heard any of the previous debates will know that the quality of exchanges and speeches delivered by our pupils over the years has been extraordinarily impressive, and I have no doubt that this special 20th competition will continue in that vein, so no pressure on our young debaters. I also know firsthand that the skills and knowledge derived from debating a wide range of subjects can be extremely rewarding and beneficial across many areas of life. And it is not just about developing skills. We may have some budding MSPs or government ministers amongst us this evening. For me, I hope this competition simply allows all this evening's participants to enjoy themselves and to enjoy the debate here in your Parliament. And as well as commenting on this Parliament's ongoing support for our young people, I should also say a few words about our commitment to Gaelic. As a Parliament, many of you will be aware that we published the third phase of our Gaelic language plan last year, which carries a basic 6-word message in it. See it, hear it, use it. In this plan, we also reinforce our commitment to recognising the cultural and historical significance of Gaelic and the vital part it plays in our nation's age-old story and identity. Gaelic officers have noted a real increase in correspondence and participation in Gaelic in recent months, and our Gaelic Twitter account is now just shy of 3,000 followers, so for any of you who are not following us yet, please do so. The handle is @ParlAlba, that's @PARLALBA, @ParlAlba. And hopefully that will help us get over the 3,000 followers line. Tomorrow I'll be chairing a Scotland Futures Forum discussion on what Gaelic in Scotland will look like in the year 2030, and this promises to be a fascinating discussion. Now, I know all our debaters are ready and raring to go, so can I simply conclude by once again welcoming you all to your Parliament and wishing all our finalists Guma Haisleave, Leish Unjespit. Good luck and good debating. I hand you over now to your chairperson for this evening, Ailey Grant. Taplev.
Many thanks, Kenneth. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this final of the Gaelic National Debate School Arts. The school's Gaelic debate in 2019. Things started last month with 16 teams in the first rounds in Stornoway. 4 teams went through to the finals, the semi-finals, which were held last night here in Edinburgh. We had the Inverness Royal Academy B against Scolleenaclage and Bishop Briggs Academy A against Sir E. Scott. They were very difficult decisions for the judges to make, but it was Scolleenaclage and Sir E. Scott School who got through. So representing Scolleenaclage, we have Marion McCorkadale, who has an interest in sport. She does a shot put and she also sings and is a piper. Also with her is Joanne Leng, who plays piano. Both of them have been very involved in Gaelic events in the school. From Sir E. Scott School in Harris, we have Rachel Campbell, who paints and plays the accordion. Also Hamish Scott, who plays the pipes and also sings in the traditional manner. Please welcome the teams. I would also like to congratulate the two teams for having reached this stage of the competition. So before we move forward, I would like to welcome you all who are listening live on BBC Radio na Gael, wherever you are. And for those who are here in the debating chamber here in the Scottish Parliament. You can also watch it live on the internet by going to Scottish Parliament TV. Now it's time to meet the adjudicators who are with us tonight. So we'll start first of all with Agnes Rennie. Agnes is a manager of Achgar Publishers based in Stornoway. She's also a chairman of the Golson Estate Trust and is on the... She's been working with the economic development and social work many in the Highlands and Islands. With Agnes is Professor Boyd Robertson. He was chair of the Highland Health Board. He was a principal at Solmorostak in Skye from 2009 to 2018. He is well known in the world of education and also with Gaelic development agencies and works with the Gaelic Books Council. He was the Gaelic ambassador in 2015. Also with Agnes and Boyd is Ian Stephen Morrison, who is from South Uist. He has been involved in many different occupations over the last few years. He was a researcher for Mac TV and a reporter for the BBC. He is now editor of a local community newspaper in Uist, which is called Impaper, the paper. He is also a member of the board of directors of MJ Allaby, and if that wasn't busy enough, he is also a crofter. Please welcome the adjudicators. I will now detail a little of the regulations. The first speaker will have 6 minutes. The first speaker will be speaking for the debate and the other one will speak against. The second speaker will have 5 minutes and you need to keep a close eye on the clock. Half a minute, you'll hear this sound. And when the time is up, you'll hear a double. If you go over the time, I will actually have to stop you. You will get a minute to consider what points you're going to raise in the next part of the debate, that is the questioning. There's then 10 minutes for open debate for each team. So you don't have to wait for a question, you just carry on. You then have another minute just to bring your conclusions. So then one speaker from each team will stand and give the final speech. I think you've probably heard enough from me. So we'll move on, and we'll move on to tonight's debate. And our subject is the true Gaelic communities in another 20 years will be in the cities. So we'll start with Scolénaglach. So please welcome Joanne Lang. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, the true Gaelic communities in 20 years will be in the cities. We will accept that that people are a community who all live in the same place. There are three particular things that leave this to be the case: population, employment, and the way in which people view the language. For example, consider the difference in population numbers between those that live in cities as opposed to rural communities. For example, the population of the Western Isles as a whole would fit into Glasgow 25 times. There are 57,000 Gaelic speakers in Scotland, but only 15,000 of those live in the Western Isles. The number of Gaelic speakers living in the island communities where Gaelic was traditionally stronger has declined considerably in the last 10 years, according to Professor Gilligan, Director of Languages at UHI. And next year he will publish research which shows that he can prove this. He feels that they will only be used in the schools, but it will not be a daily language in communities. If there are no Gaelic speakers in these communities, how on earth can we call them Gaelic communities? I think this is already happening to a degree. If we take our own community as an example of a rural community, we see decline every day. The Paisley Pard, Donald MacIntyre from Uist, who wrote in the 20th century, spoke about the state of the decline in his poems. Some could speak in the language of my ancestors, the small number becoming smaller, each year declining. In no time it will not exist. Those words indicate how Donald MacIntyre saw the state of Gaelic in the Gaelic communities as far back as the 1950s. Young people don't want to speak the language because they don't consider it fashionable. People in the bigger cities are much more aware of the special status that Gaelic has. In addition, we see that the older generation do not speak to us in Gaelic. For example, Marian works in a shop in her own area, and people know and are aware that she has Gaelic, and yet they will address it in English first. In the 50s, a small number of children came to be fostered in Uist. They had no Gaelic when they arrived in Uist from the city, but they had no issues with learning the language because it was such a strong community language. This also happened in many other rural communities. Wouldn't happen today, though. So, where are the Gaelic speakers? They're in the cities. The number of Gaelic speakers in cities is increasing whilst decreasing in rural areas. This is between 2001 and 2011 censuses. The number of Gaelic speakers in the Western Isles declined, and there was a loss of 1,700 people who spoke Gaelic. That's a large number for such a small place. Now, 10% of the people who speak Gaelic live in Glasgow, and this has been the pattern for the last 50 years. Because there are a lot more people now living in the cities. How did this happen? To a very large extent, employment is to blame. Cities have always attracted people from rural areas because they were able to gain employment. There are plenty of people who would wish to live in the islands and in rural areas, but because there's no employment available to them there, they can't. Education also adds to the number of Gaelic speakers in the cities, and the progress of Gaelic medium education in cities reflects how people view the language. Gaelic-specific schools are being built in the cities, in Inverness, Edinburgh, and a fourth Gaelic school will soon be open in Glasgow. There are more Gaelic promotional events taking place in cities, as there is an active intergenerational community ethos which then strengthens the language. As Father Michael MacDonald, a priest in Uist, said in the programme In the Blood, no economy can be strengthened in a place where the population is decreasing. We would like to add to that by saying that it is a lack of employment that keeps the population at such a low level. That leads to further problems, amongst which is the weakening of the language to such an extent, Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, that in another 20 years the true Gaelic communities will exist in the cities.
Tapolate Joanne.
Thank you, Joanne. And now, against the motion, we have Hamish Scott, who represents Sir E. Scott School in Tarbert. Please welcome Hamish. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, we in Sir E. Scott School believe that we are on the right side of this argument. It is clear to us that the true Gaelic communities are in the islands, and that's where the Gaelic communities will be in 20 years' time. We're not saying that it's not a good thing that there are large numbers of pupils in the cities who want to learn Gaelic. Indeed, we need these people to keep Gaelic alive. But the true Gaelic communities will be in the islands, and that will be true until the end of time. The Highlands are the cradle of the language, where you will find the best Gaelic anywhere, not in the cities. Gaelic medium education has only expanded in the cities very recently. And now you're saying that that's where the true Gaelic communities are. What's going to happen in the islands? The motion talks about Gaelic communities. Anyway, what is a community? It is a place where people live together, where they work and where they help one another. When we speak about a community in this manner, we're not talking about numbers. It is a place where there is a living language being used on a daily basis and where each generation has the language. In the islands, Gaelic exists in the villages, in the schools, in the church and many other places. I am pleased to tell you that there is a living Gaelic community in Harris and in the Western Isles. You can walk down the streets in Stornoway, and I'm sure you've done that by now, and you will hear Gaelic. And despite the efforts of City Council, you will not find the same things in Glasgow, Edinburgh or even in Inverness. You won't see that in 100 years, never mind 20. It takes much longer than that to establish a community. Our communities in the Highlands and Islands have existed for hundreds of years. And you're saying the true Gaelic communities are going to be in Glasgow and Edinburgh. To see a clear example, why don't we look at our friends across the Irish Sea and the situation of Gaelic in Irish communities? If you visit the Emerald Isle, as our school does, it is clear to see that they have the language. And it's geographically spread, as in Scotland. You will not find the majority of people who speak the language on a daily basis in Dublin or in Belfast. The language is strongest as a mother tongue in the Gaeltacht, in Donegal and Galway, exactly like our Gaeltacht in Scotland. In a country where the language is in a much better state than Gaelic is in Scotland, it is in the rural communities that the language lives and is used daily. Today, over 50% of the children in the Western Isles attend Gaelic medium education in primary. In the future, the Council has ambitious targets to reach 75% in 20 years. These children will leave school and surely they will use Gaelic in our communities every day. Amongst the traditional industries where Gaelic is prevalent, there are new industries appearing in Harris, the distillery and the candles, and Gaelic is used every day in these industries. So how can you say that Gaelic isn't a living language in the islands when over 50% of the next generation is going to use it in the workplace? We spent a day at James Gillespie High School. We spoke to one pupil and she told us that they always learn about the islands in the Gaelic classes so that they can understand Gaelic culture and literature, because the true Gaelic communities are in the islands. Tell me, friends, how can you say that the Gaelic communities in the islands will not be there in 20 years' time and that there will be strong communities in the cities? When you consider this topic, that is not a long period of time. No community has ever been established in 20 years. It takes many years for this to be achieved. In Scotland, we have a national Gaelic language plan in order to develop Gaelic across Scotland, but it puts specific emphasis on areas where the language remains strong, where the true Gaelic communities are. They encourage the use of Gaelic and develop Gaelic. In these, they want to have the true Gaelic communities in 20 years' time and beyond. There are initiatives taking place in the various different communities with opportunities for intergenerational language transmission. Gaelic will never have the same place in the cities as it does in the islands. Even if there was 1,000 or 2,000 pupils going through Gaelic medium education in Glasgow, what significance does that have in a city with around 1 million residents? As Sorla MacLean said, the ties that weren't torn by the sea, that 1,000 years didn't spoil, the impact of the Gael survives. So 1,000 years had no impact. How then can 20 years have an impact? Friends, it's clear that the true Gaelic communities in 20 years' time will be where they are today in the Highlands and Islands. Thank you, Hamish. We now need to hear the second speaker. You have 5 minutes this time. And for the motion, again, Scoilíne Cleach, please welcome Marion McCorkadale. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, people in the cities have long been aware that they had to do something if their families were going to continue with Gaelic. This is where the endeavours for Gaelic schools arose from. From this came the first Gaelic unit in Sir John Maxwell School in Glasgow. Then others who didn't have Gaelic started looking for that, and some of them didn't even have a connection to Gaelic, and began to see the advantages of bilingual education, and they asked for Gaelic medium education for their own children. This is how we arrived at the current situation in cities today. The demand grew and grew, and school after school was opened to meet with the demand. Gaelic medium education gave young people in the cities an opportunity that they would not otherwise have been available. So it became fashionable to use Gaelic in the cities. But in the islands it was seen as something old-fashioned. If something is fashionable, young people in particular will engage with it. Unfortunately, the majority of young people in the islands do not see Gaelic as fashionable until they have left the islands to move to the cities, at which point they add to the numbers speaking Gaelic in the cities. And was this not evident for a whole week in Glasgow for the National Mod? Since the Mod started in 1892, the Mod has only been in the Western Isles 6 times. But look at cities like Glasgow, Inverness and even Oban, who have had the Mod on 12 occasions. Why? Because, as Joanne had mentioned several times, there are more people, more events, and Gaelic has a stronger image in the cities. Gaelic music promotes the languages. However, it is in the cities that this happens most often. The most famous bands today actually live in the cities. Even those who don't live on the mainland still have their most successful events in the cities. Our own Benglee often enliven the Park Bar. Pete and Diesel are preparing for a trip around Ireland. And the Battersea boys are playing in the Barrowlands tomorrow night. And good as it would be, Hamish and Rachel, there are no tickets left. Maybe we'll need to go to the O2 soon, just to hear Trail West singing Peggy Agrai. Never mind what's happening in 20 years from now. Hamish said that it would take a long time to establish communities, but we've already started. Do we not have a community here tonight, a Gaelic community? In the same manner that bands promote Gaelic on the mainland? Where are the principal offices of the Gaelic development agencies? Think about them. Bord na Gaelic, Inverness. Cumann Gaelic, Inverness. And Cumann Gaelach, Inverness. Féisin na Gael, Inverness. Spórs Gaelic, Inverness. Gaelic Books Council, Glasgow. They're based in the cities. Everybody here tonight will be familiar with the name Fred Macaulay from Solace in North Uist, who spent his life in the city working for the BBC. It's a long time now since he said that future Gaelic communities would be in the cities. And do we not now have evidence that he was right? As we have our Gaelic language development agencies are all based in cities. There are plenty of people in the rural areas who think that all is well. And because Gaelic has always been in these areas, they think that they will always be the case. This is not correct. Therefore, Chair, ladies and gentlemen, we should all be concerned about the state of Gaelic in rural areas. And the people of these communities should envy the growth of the true Gaelic communities in the cities. Thank you.
Marion.
Thank you, Marion. And now the counter argument from Sir E. Scott. Please welcome Rachel Campbell. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps there are pupils in the schools speaking Gaelic, but the minute they leave the school gates, they leave the language there at the schools. In the islands, though, Gaelic is everywhere. You go into the shops, you go into the bus, you speak it there. Even at the doctors you hear it. After speaking Gaelic in the classes with my friends and teachers, I continue to speak it with my parents, my grandmother and other members of the family. If you want to do a Gaelic course connected with the language, the first college that occurs to you, where else? Solmor Ostak in Skye. This college does a huge amount for the Gaelic communities because it keeps the students in the islands where they can live and learn the language, where it is language used on a daily basis and very normally. We've heard from Ms. Galina Klitsch that Gaelic is growing in the cities. I will tell you, they're not quite as successful. There are 22 primaries in the Western Isles and Gaelic is available in 20 of those. But Gaelic is also taught in the other 2 schools. There are 49 schools, but there are only 3 of those who teach Gaelic. They are going to build a new one, but that's not going to make much difference. There is only 1.7 who got any Gaelic in the primary. So, and in the Western Isles, it's 100%. So they all get Gaelic education to some degree or another. It's the only area in Scotland where this is true. Perhaps you're saying, what about Inverness? That's in the Highlands. Well, last year, there was only 5% of those going through Gaelic medium education. And in 2000, this shows quite clearly that nothing has changed in the last 5 years. So what does it show that will change? That you can say in the cities, not every parent sends their child to Gaelic medium education to keep Gaelic alive, but because they're newer and with better services. So that's not going to create any kind of new Gaelic community. It just seems that it's for those who can afford it. It's become elitist in the cities. For example, I didn't go through Gaelic medium education. I went through English in small school in Shellebust. But because I had heard Gaelic around me and spoken in the community and with my family. And I think that's true of many pupils in our school. And for many, it was their first language. And everybody knows that many couldn't speak Gaelic fluently without going through Gaelic medium education in the cities. We learn the language at our parents' knee and at our grandparents' knees. And that's what it means to live in a true Gaelic community. The environment and our real life is very important. How can you have this in the city? Will they start cutting peat in Holyrood? Or in Sauchiehall Street in Glasgow? Gaelic is growing in the Highlands and in the Lowlands. But the true Gaelic communities are where the culture is. It's in the Highlands and in the Islands. As Murdo Macfarlane, the poet, said, "Come with me to the west until you hear the language of the Gaels." Thank you.
Tapa Letsa Vernon.
Thank you, Rachel. You now have a minute to discuss between yourselves what questions you're going to raise in the debate. And while you're considering that, would like to thank those who are supporting the debate. This year we got funding from Loganair, from Bord na Gaelic, the government, Glasgow Council, Highland Council, Education, Skills Development Scotland, the SQA and Cornwall and Shire. And there is additional support from BBC Radio na Gael, Cornwall and Shire and the Scottish Parliament. Before we come, and we will shortly hear some bits from last night's debate. We had Inverness Royal Academy against Scoline College, and their topic was Fitbit is useful to keep people healthy. And then we had Bishop Briggs Academy A against Surrey Scott, and they had to consider it's better to lead than it is to follow. So that's your time over. I hope you're now ready to begin the debate. Just to remind you of tonight's topic, the true Gaelic communities will be in the cities in 20 years' time. You have 10 minutes. The floor is open. What are you going to do when you leave school? I'm not too sure, but I know I want to stay in the Western Isles. Me too. Are you going to do any kind of training? Probably. We have enough facilities in the Western Isles to do this. For example, I'm looking at have a social media apprenticeship with multimedia in Stornoway. I've started that course and I've many opportunities to get work in Stornoway when I finish. Absolutely, we intend to continue speaking Gaelic. And it's interesting that you've raised that, because I have a couple of points here that I want to talk about. As I said, we have new industries. Certainly they speak Gaelic at the distillery every day. There's Gaelic spoken there, and we have a Gaelic plan there. And they have a Gaelic day. And they all spoke Gaelic to us when we went in to visit. So is that the only place, the distillery? Absolutely not. There's plenty other places where there's Gaelic spoken. In Harris. At the meetings that we now have. The candles. Essence of Harris. Surely you've heard of that. Do the candles speak Gaelic? The people who are making them. All our industries want to use Gaelic. I have another question. I have a question, so I'll ask my question. Do all your friends speak Gaelic? Yes, a lot of our friends speak Gaelic. Perhaps your Gaelic community in Benbecula is not quite as strong as in Harris. The true Gaelic communities are going to be in the islands. Not just Harris. No, but you have to. But are you saying your communities are not true Gaelic communities? So what does a Gaelic community mean? Where people are living together? And is that not the islands? We all know the people who live with nears. After a lot of people come from the mainland and they don't have any. They're not coming to the islands because we have Gaelic. How are you going to speak to the Sassanach about Gaelic? There are some English speakers who have come to Harris and they are learning Gaelic. Then they've made a huge effort to learn Gaelic. I wouldn't say that everybody who has come has tried to learn Gaelic. No. We said that a community means people who live together and speak Gaelic. I'm sorry, but that's not all it is. What is it then? In a community there is also culture. There's the environment, there's employment. All of that comes together when you're having a community. But it doesn't say anything about cutting peat. Is it just through Gaelic communities that cut peat? The Americans don't cut peat. They don't have Gaelic, do they? Anyway, if we want to ask you a question. So we're looking at having 75% in the next couple of years of children going to Gaelic medium education in the Western Isles. This kind of figure will never happen in the cities. There's more pupils going through Gaelic medium education, not according to the population levels. If you take a percentage, there's more percentage going through Gaelic medium education in the Western Isles than there is in Glasgow, and that's always going to be the case. Of course, there's a lot more people living in cities. In the secondary, I think about 100. I don't think the figures matter, because they all have Gaelic to some degree or another. That won't be the case in the cities. Let me finish. I would say they hear Gaelic. But if the communities are that good, why are people leaving the islands? Of course there are people leaving and people coming into the islands. You only speak Gaelic when you go to a Gaelic class. We live in the Western Isles. I think Rachel is a good example. I didn't go through Gaelic medium education, and yet I speak Gaelic. It's not the most important thing. You're talking about figures just a short time ago. You're talking about 75% saying that it's a good thing. What I was talking about was percentages. We're not dependent on Gaelic medium education in the Western Isles. It's not the only thing. Education is not the only thing that makes. I spoke about the national plan for Scotland. Do you know it? Not in detail. The National Gaelic Plan. I'll tell you a bit about it. It's to develop Gaelic. But as we said, it puts particular emphasis on the places where the language is still living as a community, which is the Western Isles. How does this show us that people are making an effort in the rural areas, that the Gaelic continues within? I think it shows that work still to be done in the islands. I think there are problems if they need a plan for it. You did raise you spoke about the agencies, Board na Gaelic, Cumann na Gaelic. But they all work in the Gaelic fields of Gaelic. Where are they based? Okay, so the headquarters, they want to move it to the Western Isles. How would that help? Why wasn't it in there from the beginning? So Féishin began in Barra. Why wasn't Féishin na Gaels established in Barra? Why is it in a city? In 20 years, if this is successful, these agencies will be based in the islands. So all of those, where are they going to go? I think they have 6 in the Western Isles and 1 in Glasgow. So I think that the 2 Gaelic communities are in the islands. But they are based in Inverness. Their headquarters are there, but they have more officers in the Western Isles. So why are they not based in the Western Isles then? Anyway, I don't know. Gaelic medium education is a good thing. And we have the 4th Gaelic school opening in Glasgow. As we've said, to some level or another, most pupils in the Western Isles will have Gaelic. When you go to S1, Why do we still have learner classes? Thank you. That's the 10 minutes. Thank you very much. That was an excellent debate. Now, you have another opportunity to consider your final summing up, and you'll have about 30 seconds to consider it.
Well, an haim inis aun is
It's now time for the summing up. One from each team. So you have between and for the motion from Scolinaclit, Marion McCorkadale. Chair, ladies and gentlemen. Low population, lack of employment, lack of opportunities, and the way in which people view the language. These are the problems that weaken the state of Gaelic in rural areas. But what you're saying, that these problems do not make a difference and that the Gaelic communities will be in the Western Isles in 20 years. You say that the best Gaelic is in the islands. I wouldn't denigrate anyone's Gaelic. You also mentioned Solmorostak in Skye. But is that an island, really? Do they not have a bridge now to the mainland? Nobody wants to admit that they're doing anything wrong. But we as Gaels, that it's something external to our communities. So we are often hear about that it's the lowlanders that are negative to the language, but now it looks as if it's the Gaels themselves. So, ladies and gentlemen, Chair, we don't have to wait 20 years to see the words in the motion come through, because already it is in the cities that will have the true Gaelic communities. And why not? If that's where the people are showing an interest and making an effort to continue it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marion. And finally, against the motion from Sir Scott School, Hamish Scott. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, it's true that the Gaelic situation is changing and that we do have to make an effort for the true Gaelic communities. But this does not mean that it's at the stage that the true Gaelic communities are going to be in the cities in 20 years' time. We heard from Scolinaclit that people want to leave the schools to get employment. But as I said, we do have industries in Harris now that take Gaelic into the workplace. And we see Gaelic declining in the communities. Of course, we know that our Gaelic in Harris is the best. But the used Gaelic is not bad either. The day will not come when we won't have a Gaelic community in Harris. Whatever happens, we have to defend our language. So, lift it up with the Gaelic. And if things are as bad in Uist, and you won't have two Gaelic communities in 20 years, then we'd invite you to come across the Sound of Harris to a Gaelic community that will exist to the end of time. Thank you very much.
Hamish.
Thank you, Hamish. Okay, that's the end of the debate. You all did well. You'll now have a chance to just catch your breath. I'm going to ask the adjudicators to leave the chamber, and while Agnes Boyd and Ian Stephen are away, we'll get an opportunity to hear to part of the debates of the semi-final last night. Academy Regal Inverness Royal Academy B and Scollín is that things like Fitbit are useful for keeping us healthy. And after that, we'll hear Bishop Briggs Academy A against Sir Scott School, and they considered the topic, it is better to follow than it is to be at the beginning. This is what they did.
Charige Ivnan sa gunguisle. Ha mi hen is fionlai son a volley, vil rutin mer Fitbit, femel son ar kummel falling. Agus ma ha falling ha shin malinge. Ach an toshoch, je haun an Fitbit se leich. Wel se England a haunte ha cho kutermach, gewil an tengem fuse en ochig en an fakler Collins. Ha shinge shaltin, gewil cho kutermach in isri kan Brexit. Wel chanin, gewil it tarna sharna Brexit geta. Ach son son an ngiring eentje, ha mis munchen gewille hula kalnes kutremich na Brexit. Ganges in a van, ach gangel na Fitbits er your jerry fat na hunge, varach kan mer Brexit flyby, your Scott rail. Zijn nachler, ha gavinigig maar ingel uur, ha gangigig agus a klarig na kemenen akket. Varach geshin, ha vorkuch a klarig do vilje gree. Ha kuchach a klarig, jecho fat, agus jecho maat sa gatjelu. Agus a gintje, jene huru, je gaat al lucht voor. Rut nach deur singen och jen schaken na ja. Een rut geta, gaan eentje goed en roi struin. Ach, eentje mi goed, ze jonnai, ba us a struin een treinen. Ka ju, gaan jij van girach koshach a wees het klarig na smoe. Hij de kol keelach, schol gleek, knudding het eentschijf, gewille de bicycle, jof use a snav. Rut ele mamen jane, ha tar ju in jane van tuske, ha shin gemach femel en een alpe. Maar shin, ging heel over zijn bij uit, nach heel ruttigen valling, heeft echt zich een guttig toe Genev, calorie de garage en Fitbit. Hij is ging heel het godurschen na smoe. En waar ik ging je wie kost dedicated te gaan in het spoors, dat de klassieken le ene miljoen nog maar, P-Nugget X, U-Time Otago, agus kettlebells. Vete tu gal en mag na het watenen steutig leppen haast dorst me hoekjes toe. Vete tu kujach een rui gelurische gei, nog een sleutig rikar me wager. Rut ele. Ha go mamen Jane. Gang jemu echter zich a jene vik aimzorigje. Ha roing akket ke jene neure hokrestu, agus son kofatse hokrestu. Lelaan is, gewille jene ruttigen kjarst is on de lanch. Vete du kujach targetje ge roit. Targetje ge bek, joch moor se hokrestu. Vete du een target shin ahrige kun moor an bevarach. She geestje huin, wil het gufeem. Wel, ha unrut vier. Ha laan is akin, na gel shinge, maar guig, ga fallings begorgen na wie. Ha barach leeg jen duig, roh ruim. Ha barach is barach gunge, klachke karigen en atje koshach. Hangesh in a van, a geit de kosk unge gun geel, gleich gemenen er na fonigen, jo Engelen maar een PlayStation. Kurshin rish en tuyachig me vieg, maar a hashing, a giege na slugge, eiges na slugge, je bieg falling. Wel, ha triplet overzag akin, ha fame akin na fitness trackers. Nu was shinge ik een jespit aan is journalweg, garof fitness tracker akim. Ach an jego chilig hoshig mi klake schaun ma vaher. Nish ha mi geain leith taringach, agus hi mi kerson heid de korsig dinge. Hangeli sakim wil kein akiv, jego moor se va mi aan is journalweg, ach wo hur mi Fitbit, ha mi gekker zich fat na chietje, agus, well, Sean a brikke se vakim aan is journalweg. Nish, Channing gewil mi falling giljard in ju, es kan be mi klich bal kosje, agus imi. A gaan Fitbit leef femel, son de lion, nu nog heel spars ela akim. Nisje, melenis mi orem, maar a hami, koe ka vis, nach bi mi heen en nog ik na Olympics, en mag garage Fitbit ma garsten. Tapeleef.
Eith na carach a bhrán sa gniuasle. Ha inalen leid Fitbit fémal son cumal fallin. Fémi me ha gewil Academy Regal Nish, Jen Verk, gewil duinjes en duwi sjo fallen me ra, is nach emiad ach inal big leid Fitbit son cumal as een stad fallen sin. Wel, haneach gag am gaibh ilan. Chanel sin falain sa hi dáte. Éistef, leis an seo. Ha sés get sa coig sa hiad de gynnyfich an an alabe rá ráwer, nio obís, mar a chanel sin sa verle. Ha fysig dynne gyfel codach gyfigiche mesan, agus glasrich a chula la, cyyu coig písan. A fel at y janig sin. Chanel. Chanel ach fichit sa gas sa hiad a lentin i chorle seo. Get a ha isachge gyfel na vitin sin magain. Ith goiad chodagin ha molig seo torst orste vi cthutch, gyda echgur sich in vitis cutrimiche san dynne chumal fallin. Agus gyfel fitbit na fys chutrimich jan echgur sich seo. Chanel sinne a gynt chuglis yn seo idydd. If sonna vi fallin han doi be a heg dynne uafis o'ch heen cutrimich. Chanel an an echgur sich agus an an fitbit ach fys jan stodi. Nach een vitis cutrimiche sonna vi fallin, if je kumal sul a chule sian a hau jan in at vea. A giches a gol, a katel, a gerker sich agus vi feikin jöne a hagad janig tolichte. Kutjach, ha kutste jöne aun, agus ha tor sian sin bi ore, doi ben as fallen je lentin. Hier sin, la kutste jöne ha smochgug. Is chanelle gut jefer, jen a triplotjen slantje a hachge. Agus fioanjachge in jan a smisse, trovi a smochgug. Ja jowi sin, chas skud at a smochgug. Na geef ma, na jan ik inja bik maar fitbit, feim an een zeger maar zo. Ach, shen iedin, nacht jian. Gaat jan shian feim ach aardige injin in dunje heen. Feimi dunje wie gieri wie vallen. Maar weer een jere te shenaun, gaat jan inja digitug feim zijn pi.
A chariche, if naan, sa gen uisle. Hashinje, ik academy regal innernish. Goed jeffentje, ik guntige glesje volley. Ik gra, gevel injelen, a lich fitbit, femel sonar kumel falling. Chanjal shinje gejen viach, gevel keest me jen. Hij het ho femel se goos. An een immig jiffer gooi. Mara hurst Lewis, ham fakel fusri eins en achler, a sheltin, gevel het gukinchach kutrmach sen la en Jew. In toshach geta, Ishi me jeef me jen buien en sorrytje fitbit. Jeef u ap faran uringut keel a jenu la denje ille gus a vi nat nar buien. Jo futit u buien ure horsachig, u heen me hokris tu. Han a buien en sjo meervaljach. Heid a likke lacht, kom is a jenu et een statisterach ak het heen, ag statisterach do charretjen. Ha mo vahre jenu sjo, len a charretjen eichgesje, ag ha kwarpish ach heen, a kriachnachig en afleene. Agus hat een dinge le een arf is moordje gemenen, a fein bochtel fien van een hule dinge ele. Smeunig. Ach, ganjel is hem jego fallen se wees kroik bochtel fien. Han a buien en sjo, kujach et torst en kormgut, karretjen ure e jenu. Suring u kanjach e dunje, ek wel ue ons ne hun rutten se hakketse. Han mo vaher a riest na Joe Eschenplurgen sjo. Aunen da wille se geergiek, ga ik u New York zo'n marathon rij. Va I gidach een dul een marathon rij. Ach, nu de wij kwijt een fitbit op eichke, rij niet lork buien genje een rij in blenishen. Hoe kan buien sjo orde barak marathons rij, ska va je feiken en wat dunje ille het genu, agus va je zo'n paarste gal, aan heen. En is, hij je strie zo'n schia marathons is moe a genus en tuil, agus hij je keer u a genu maar ha. Mur nach roi een buien sjo a lork fitbit, ga je ietsjer een leech a genu. Agus, maar buonach ille, hij wie chimachol en tuil, kanjach die dunje, rij aan New York, Tokyo, Berlin en Chicago. Hij fuse leevarathen benje vuile a genu, upper globetrotter. Agus Haningen tok mancher leneklitch jego mi hoosel te sane fitbits. Jidach usse, agus een injel akket, gen graag die dingen zijn bi ille. Ach, ze jalf gemaakt jeffrietje a haun. Maar ik jou zien, zodat je kanjach die karretjen, een bekken ekker zich a jenu. Agus fuse karretjen ure a jenu, ik een arm, zou fast falling. Upper Joe Root.
Is na carach a bhrán sa gan uisle. Bíag falling eichgur sich agus dói bé. Seo na ruútan a chumas duine falling. Chan an fitbit ach inal. Einal a ha iddyn reich son duine y vrosnachig gyfyd jan y barach eichersich. Ach, son yn nid yn eisiau. Chan i ladach y dianig barach cron. Mar y hwrs jwan, cedd y fyr ar sísirin. Char a leid y rwydachgas yn di Fitbit, agos cwmad falain tro fi gich y biag natere, agos y gobydd crwy. Ha droch fwy ag technolas ar slantje. Agos ha siodd y gerafig leis yn addef gwynia gyharad dynia oga a ha ffwlwng le tinius yn un. Mar esiampler, ha cws bwriach gytachar leine. Agos cwdiach, ha dynia ysmwynachig yd iafau y ianig eif hen, sons gybiad mar y hwle dynia eile. Ha droch fwy ag sio slantje gwynia, ach ha molwg sio gra, gyfel technolas ffeimal gysau'r cwmal falain. Ha sy'n ys y fiachain, di rwta ha donna, a ha edd afrachig le technolas, a chwyd kerst le fi clachgig barach technolas. Corl yn ach le dina kiel. Je han een Fitbit ach doi eile a he company en more ed een fistrachig persente moer tjeun ein, gynnistigin. Hwrs Lewis, gyfel na cem an ag fionlag a dal soes naar a he clich na file. Ach hwrs den achlan heen gyda geran big gyfa sio. Chan einse, gyfel sion a gerafig, nach el een fistrachig a ha Fitbit yd o'r siachat kerst. Chan jel an een Fitbit ach fasan eile. Ha 9 miljoen dunne. Ed Fitbit y chianach. Ach, chan je lach 4 miljoen dunne gan glechgych. Hasyn y ffagal 63 miljoen jach nach eilen glechgych y Fitbit y chianichiad.
Fel siwys y dyn fiach gyfel e mat o genia e fi glwysyd.
Ha, maat gerne as a doi kerst.
Agus mar sin nach hel roots yn bi y feris orin glwysyd ma. Leich na Fitbits.
Ach, chan jel Fitbit y torstyr hwle dynia fi glwysyd.
Ha, ska, wel, fo, ha sy'n glwysyd na ha na Fitbits y gra glwys.
Chan jelle gelutten ja Fitbit ek me waar as draad ek chan jelle ore fies.
Ha,
Sin gas nach helle ore. Mer nach helle ore.
Agus chan jelle eith 63 miljoen jach eile ha Fitbit y chianach.
Wel, hai de cael ymach.
Na big Fitbit Adams is toch het janige buzz, maar je hebt gra riddikin maar time to move na riddikin.
She.
She ne shene het gra hagluishin.
Hagluishin smas meer.
Gaan je als je nu?
Nach heel korak in a vi na go exemplar gan oigri hef ekkersig agus a vi fallen.
Wel, gaan eens dat gewil misje valling. Agus gaan je Fitbit Adams.
Misje kitchach.
Ach ha tor ha her shusha ha sheskes a koik se hiet je Mijntje Britten nog mi fallen. Wel, roosruimtelijk. Agus, gaan je sin jo exemplar?
Agus wil Fitbit ek hwle dynia gyshen.
Gaan jel. Agus ha sin gra gym bechor Fitbit se viachke sy'n a fastness fallen.
Agus yn glech na dynia shen or han na dynia shen obis mar ha. Na wil us iets des menige gewil at shachat er shen.
Wel, suring het een target islachig. Agus nurshin maar a goper sus.
Ach chan jelle nerik dek dynia sonchen. Gaan dat keert nog dat ze volg dat Jacob zegt zo nog gaan nog Fitbit.
Gaan jullie de kost gewoon keer not zing je ver een zo'n kent het not.
Agus af join dag hier nog.
Hij maar gaan nemen een film had dag hier het not.
Nach heel te waar na is een plek toch iets gaan haven oorlog na kimmen en echt een zus zo'n bocht of vianein.
Jee.
Fijn ik heb toch gekijkt. Oh wel kimmen en ook maar zo'n bocht of vianein.
Agus has je een torstode een Venus vallen je. Ska hij kost toch padden.
Zo'n bocht of vianein.
Oh, is een goed vallen.
Je bros nog geen gehouden ke je.
Agus mer nach hele fine quick bottle fien. Hij haast kemen en genu.
Agus yn bi oorlog or a hwle la gyfe mi na ceimen yn sio ein.
Bi?
Bi, agus shen a hwyr sinja. Shen mar a ha triple le tinius yn un sinja tosach maar dynia gael cws oorlog ma join gyfyd ceim ha dy cosach sy'n la. Agus chan ja shen a rwyd as cwtri mi cha ichyd.
Cymera sin, wel, gaan je maar z'n viach gevel sin gevel de torsteunie wie like de triplet slancher ska maar hou ik mes vallen je. I've been a fitness geharst like a Venus fallen je. Gaan je biu a farak in de charmen Jane heen.
Hij torster dynia wie smenige kus mi join. Ik kimmen en koa graag wil een keim tal janig Jefford moor.
Agus na de vet dynia na ceimen yn dro ate. Byd rydyn mar anorexia agus bulimia is rydyn mar shen a tacharst. Shen fad yn jage, cws eichgersig.
Jane dói a sear do ghaine cúte me chael.
A bhí giche fálain agus a bhí gechar sich agus a catal.
Agus na Fitbits cúteach u leis a hula cael seo.
Chanéil.
Ha.
Cemar a hat a cúntas gwiet.
Calorie ha kiche.
Ysga ha so in app acum syring u barcode is scan.
Oh, gaan jullie na conversation.
Ja, coig a ha unia is scannig a hula barcode en a hula sianna hau giche fat de la.
Mesje.
Oh, heel. Nach hele nu jacket ze ma.
Gaan je torum un jacum. Agus ha mi haska jenu. Agus ha gam cúteach.
Scanja. Goedemorgen, Lisse zijn.
Ha mir son atáisiach le céist éach ormh ula. Luch géisteach, bhríomhan, agus an crú. Cótha suíonn seo an dú, leis fón live a hair dhéanamh le Apple nó Samsung. Cursús do laban. Well, ha fáiseach bhó seo me ha, gríad na company na smóis an rain seo. Charáid thoiseach, charáid uachtar bhó hús gotá. Hoshi Nokia a bhí gealafachuch agus a cruúchuch fónic an live me hoiseach na nécintin. Cáid bhfuil Nokia is suíonis? Well, chabhór na chail scíal ára. Tá seo ar scás gon de len Apple agus Samsung na réinead. Thu cit na beachcan agus prúnsplan ag Nokia agus leisichéad iad seo. Réinead na seairiad agus mar sin seálara. Se earned in a company na smós an tail a hawn an Apple in ish. Cynny'n cosiach sias yn sraj gwn a fi ging iPhone. Stoch a gyfwys yn sy'n Sean drast agos canting yn ei ffein, ach, ha Apple agos Samsung yn nish hosiach agos se eat na company na smós an tail. Agos fiction charson sio. Han dachwch achga yn nish an yn reisio son gach lesig a gen event hosiach. Ach, lish sin, ha America in ochig. Efo cain acif jay hachar lish in Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Lik clown cain her shugov. Baie trich is spreig. Ca cheese me as jack den hoveren technical carson. Ach, ruiet der hosioch, lis moonj agus spreig na uitenachke. Gu literal. Kroket fuse ik dunja adol plenik en loe. She bommich in de vunte. Rein Apple rutgen koltoch. Hier giet we phone glei anne a kruichig. Jay hacher, well, van phone rottanne, agus rolak, agus marshin, vige loopich en pocketjen dunje. Ganjelle kielach wie een toshach. Hij fat in a shaar, a koyet, a gunskuch, agus a lessig, na hanik royet. Mujerig, shall tochlichen. Aan een lean na klachen, wat dunje bio aan een uiven. Ach, en nesh koyet tochlichen. Tochlichen moor, beek, fatte, tanne. Tochlichen a haun emu chumien. Fuse tochlichen, if is a glusit, listen talev, trochri halving. Dachel shin druichach. Ha kuin achum, nur van misen skolarich. Ag se leeg, min a tri muchken. Hanike giet da haien, shies, legierig bikken, haffig is puff en materiali. Ach, hesten tresai. Ag smar shin. Varum much. Na gel seo shaltinging, begoning, a goit, a junskig, a lessig, agus a lenting voor merken a geet da vug. Apple.
Jach na carach ifnaan sa gynnywisle. Ha sinne aan skossery skot, gu water gen viach, gu vil torne shar, a viek en toshach na via lenting. Breni mi mu exemplar aan de jachtri, a villig a haljenting janev, uit exemplar va van lanju. Kri hemes rus na harkumten shaw a riest. Smunig in de tuinje a ha ga eenmaal aan een jachtri, a shon rut na reinjat. Maar exemplar, a giet tuinje gosh gere jalloch, Neil Armstrong. Kuk op jeneras, va fisek Neil kun begen show onafzag kunderstag, ach vai haast kienchach a shon a janev. Ze exemplar ele, ek de tuinje wie ik een toshach, Nur reine braden right, a heet tourist bors plane. Garoyet in de smunnig woei, a wie ik een tourist jachter in tul, vaart de smunnig gai peen. Garoyet de lenting dunje vaart de Janne Vrutiken uur. Na bij jetzt in girige lenting de dunje rekenaam, ga wie penig en akin zijn laan ju. Schon wat dunje gra noorsen, kunt nach uitig maken dunje ske. Maar a bijna braden right. Ik shinje kost unje voor het jenige nation. Agus wegen jespet nashente as een sponsor. Loganeer. Hij shinje smenige gewel luklente het janef kron moor een duwjakin. Hij kielge gewel deunje girige dollish en tru. As genjela dus een kuschen erstige. Hij girige smenige en rut a haar hulle njach ele smenige. Agus a seo a tost nio ismach falla volgeunje. Wel, academy drochetje nespik, a gerig een big shinje, girige lenting, maar geurig, girig gudal. Wel, stoge nach heel academy drochetje nespik, ga jovige geurig, sa shinje aan zijn herrig, ach, gies me je, het guma immejach. Kutje kanele, nach rol lenting, na sasker in dachi, Linda Norgrove, voor ik aan de Joes. Een kopper aan Afghanistan, een kroegig bij een schaar, is aan teunje van een wiel en kokkig en doi beherken. Ze shotje, een gunnig rutrianef, een reine rutige mijeen, aan een zeugig en waguma terf. Aan David is de Tsjech, ga Linda horsten brutslich en Taliban, als gemiors nog een warrig. En gaan opperen reine, er kummelen tal, als een Jew gaan een reine maar wisjach tal vooraan. Maar er isje toshig een opper zo. Gewegen karnes en hoshige parenten na hennem aan. Hij gossel, gewil in een schaar wie ik een toshig. Vader wil dunje garige en tul, ergens behe een hulenjach, een heet jas en jay. Tafleef.
Shebi goper maskappe, en jenes kellen as kutmiches en tul. Agus shen doish agus yn sgel sio lesachig fi lenting dynja eile. Gach la am sy'n sgol, sel na hoproch na spars, vi sy'n ule a goper mar skippe. Gyrach fo chi'n mies, joprich me heen agus mo charit sorle, cola, mar skippe, ik yn jespet awn yn stornavag. Viachgi sy'n rechele de hule cal va sy'n dograd na horitchen. Gun dynja vi ik yn tosioch va sy'n haast a lenting a chele, fat na hunje. Ham smutchen gun uren jogra, gyda emmers starafachel a fashion, les gyfel sy'n sio riist, ik yn jespet. Canel me eacher a cyrsias na skepian eile va lahar awn yn stornavag. Ach, van skepian a chai troie, na skepian a vagir o shen. Na skepian a Europich cola, sy'n atje nach lager os cwn cwysyn, no, ik yn tosioch, agos a nach eile a saie erash. Gyrach coed een tsunami uafesoch aan een dabiels keer. Chunnig een planet fate een TV. Was een ule faraki ma partje, agus gen recordem akin buai jevenje na dunje basas aan een tubist uafesoch. Leshen, hij code $1 billion een toko. $1 gach nach a chrig voorsho. Agus genel mensen smuisjen dunje zijn bi go ha kjanard, ik een toshoch, no CEO, a furdy en urits erget te shen a hokal. A go shipri shen. Sudden jen barach, kolonig, kola.
Neach na caroch y ddynaan agos ag yn ywysle. Ha molwg y hacyn y gra gyda'r yn y siar y ddi y lentyn na ddi'r yn tosioch. Je ha canartus y ciolachach. Os o'n canartus fi recyn, ddim sy'n cerd ar asio yn iactri. As na linach ar oen, sy'n na halapanyich a ddaig tosioch na lesichen ys cwtrmich yn ddylf. Science, technologist, ein yn y drog, sy'n sy'n rörst. Cwyw, nach eich ni siesu an y mian, donation. Priad balen dwych jalasoch acyn. Cria, cultur, nogas is iactri. Nach eich sio yn bale ag Walter Scott a Seamus Maxwell. The arm an jachtri van het donation hoshok agen elis en teul. Lina ursten dat chine machas. Kutshok, alapa hoshok immig doe gille, lis een veel met akin. Ik gam nach ro, van nach roak da al hen sasin, dat keer al hen akin an alapa. da cwtioch na dynia a ddau yn tosiog, le misioch ys biach yn ure, Seamus Watt, Alistair Graham Bell, Alistair Fleming, y corym yn dwyisio, eus yn tyl gylieir, ysdys yn môr y yenw. Nach tor sy'n sŵl yn y bwynach yn economicoch a tîn, nŵr asydd eg yn tosiog yn ad filienting. Patents, mae'r esimplar. Doel lagal le hacyn yw'r son biach yn dda a chwml an yn laden yn dynia ysmynnych o'r yn tosioch. Nŵr ysmynnych ys dynia y dŵr, a dydda'n patent, a dydda'n y corichan, eus a dydda'n yn erigyd. Leis ysyn, a dydda'n y ten ysmô, na carichan y spatula, agos na bornich ys bria, stocha. Eg yn amsio, a sy'n yn cheis mian tyg nasynta. Han y tacrican a siesu o'r son palmach y gyr i bwynachig, a ddi yn tosioch, a sydd ffwlysioch. Ni fiant ddosd noch a thain ysdiach, a dda'n niart, yrymys pai ma. Ys dia tacrican y tacrican boch a tîn sy'n darn sy'n tres sy'n cerwaadje, gyda siesu yn lain ac yn un y doproch yn adatyn. Wel, gadw sy'n eisiau. Ach,
So,
Als je geri brin als je keist chororf, brin je patent. A login patent a gerada gyda na siar di yn tosioch. Na chas yw gynt o'ch leisio.
Chynaf sy'n gynt gyfeil yn y siar fi tosio.
Cymar, isio cymar.
Wel, patent fi yn design, yn root. Ach fedi Apple coi tern Face ID. Chynaf sy'n gwybod tosioch. Ach mar hyrsyna. Ha Apple lenting Face ID ys yn jared yn y siar.
Als je brin je Apple, Samsung, Nokia. Ach a weer kaal jisak in Apple, Samsung, Nokia. Gun Alistair Graham Bell. En jer a groeig a phone.
Ach rein Apple agus Samsung fónich in y siar. Levi a lenting ha fónich in y siar achgas yn, nach eil?
Jane Eric the ring Alexander Graham Bell len phone. Ys yn coed to Apple yn ish. Ha million and billion is geno achgan.
Wel, han tyl yr ar.
Ryd. Nach ylio gyntaf i ryn, gyfer yn company a haig yn tosioch. Nas toligje, yn y company yn haig alienting.
Ba noch hier yn tosioch, Mars, ficit blaen ag ras. Ba noch hier yn tosioch.
As yn eich Apple, Samsung yn tosioch.
Agus he is yn fain bellen yn dredor.
Agus he is in a lenting Nokia. Agus Nokia a lenting Alexander Graham Bell.
Ach a Apple, Samsung yn eich yn tosioch. Yn tosioch yn y ddarci.
NJ a lenting, so famous if a fi a lenting or son of your hosioch.
Agus nes mi
Femi dynnu di awn a yn tosioch yr son gybys i lent.
Famous if a lenting dunja. Ik ga namens no ver. Gaan jullie tosioch ek in tosioch? Famous if vi ga lenting or son of fang in tosioch.
Een siar vi een tosioch.
Nou, sy'n ei lent in y cysyn acif yr son mynach sy'n iawn. So, fi'n sydd mi yn dynnu ek yn tosioch a fain carich yn môre bod ni'n spatioch rydym a sy'n. A sioed Ronaldo, besyn y brin yn laile, agus hyrste nach bwyn i dos ys gyn fart le balach eke. Hesyn ik tosioch de sel balkosje. Y fo sy'n y siar.
Sy'n dirach eisiau pleurin na fwynach sy'n a ha awn y fi ag yn tosioch. A ha barach gan, ha na skillion ha y kionsgig na fi ag yn tosioch. Ha nioes moch agad.
Ach, na gyfiga siar a dirach y fi ans behe afistioch if sy'n yng Nghymru gan fart lys dy falach. Donach, stel hem een weg aankom zeg. Gaan je vast om je eens ach.
Dynnu haar yn tosioch. Ha spionagach, ha misnoch gach. Ach yn misnoch acusje.
Ha misnoch acusje.
Myr yno misnoch acyn ca fi sy'n yn sio. Myr yno misnoch acyn. Ca fi sy'n y ffain gwyn dyn yn sio. Myr yno misnoch acyn ca fi sy'n y mach.
Misnoch acw ma.
Y hwyl y la fi sy'n lentyn cwtchcyn. Mae fyst teacher, studiche, no fyst o framar, no y corparstich yn acitsa. Chanel dynnu sy'n bi ymach loa hen. Agus, chanel y dyrach dynnu afisrach gofis y lentyn. Mar hyr sorle, bi company yn Intermission te, mar Apple y Samsung, y lentyn eich lai fat na hwnnw, gys na ffôn chi'n acha janaf na siar. Fitbit, yn cwrle lai ffeilum, Rocketchen, gamen en video, carichin, fedem mi do agus mur esimplerin, de company agus gneefachin en lentin chile, son erged janef agus na stuhenachke janef na siar. Nur hike hunske ja, genelle in wit as messe sintel, haun a vi nat kere. Guharig, ma hou as na herig.
Neach na carach a bhán sa gan Uasle. Ha mi hénagus héimiis agad sin báir atá seachad, agus ha sin an dáchas, go bhfuil le suileirgaibh, go seánna haid, tar na sear a bhí ag an toiseach, bhain de bhisneach agus dáchas na bhí lentin gún smúneachig. Ha mi hénas héimiis le ríisigaibh, mi ag ceannarstin ar feag an til. Ach ha sinne mar ceannarstin an seo ar seán na herig. Chan skippe eile fó scáil sa ríscát, an an jaachtarí an jéspit, ha rain chun na cuairst an déirenach. Se ur an mór a ha seogain, agus ha sinne cháprása a bhí séisamh an seo ar seán na herig. Ma ha Academy drochit in Jesbuk a gra go bhfuil na seár a bhí a lenting, chan cúteam san bí áibh ma ha fein ar chun na cuairt mí éirig. Ma ha, a bhfuil?
Welcome back to the final of the National Gaelic Schools Debate 2019. Coming to you live from the debating chamber of the Scottish Parliament. You heard there from the teams of Inverness Royal Academy B and Scolénicate against each other with the topic Fitbit and the like help to keep us healthy. And you also heard Bishop Briggs Academy A against the Reescott School, considering the topic, it is better to follow than to lead. So now to the prizes. And presenting the prizes tonight, we have Maurice Boyle, Chief Operations Officer at Loganair, and Donalda McKinnon, Director, BBC Scotland. And I'll ask Ian Stephen to take us to the prizes, the first for the best debater and then on to the winning team.
Well, Fisk.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being with us tonight and for being so patient while we had to discuss matters. You heard the same debate we heard, and you will realise that it was not an easy decision. It was very, very difficult for me. This is the 20th year of the National Gaelic Schools Debate. I, Agnes and Boyd considered how appropriate it was. The incredibly high level of debate that we've heard. Good debates in each round, and importantly, the huge improvement that we saw from those in the semi-finals. I know that Inverness Royal Academy are here, and I hope Bishop Briggs are listening tonight and that they hear it. But you did come on in leaps and bounds since the first rounds. So we would like to congratulate you as adjudicators. The only other thing that we spoke about as judges, what you had as a topic tonight, and the state of Gaelic, whether it's in the cities as we are tonight, or in the islands where many of us live. And I think what has been so nice about it, the debate this year, and what we saw tonight, is just the high level of fluency in Gaelic. And we just hear so much nowadays about language plans and development officers. And we hear many other criticisms of the language as well, that we sometimes forget. Language belongs to the young people. If it's going to survive, that's it has to depend on the young ones who have to be confident and fluent. And I'm sure you'll agree with me that we have reason for hope in what we've seen here. Anyway, I see 4 young people who are just so anxious to find out how they got on tonight. And it's been left to me, who wins. So the first prize tonight, and that is the one for the best debater over the whole of the competition. And the person winning that is Rachel Campbell from Surrey Scott School. And Donalda McKinnon will say a few words and then she will present the prize. Many thanks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be here tonight. And I'm really pleased to be able to give this prize to the best debater. Rachel invited me to present the prizes this year at the Surrey Scott School. So it's good to see yourself and Hamish here tonight. I would like to congratulate all the teams who took part. I was adjudicated at the first debate 20 years ago, and with me that night. Oh, I've forgotten her name now. Sina Stewart and John Alec McPherson, who were very aware of debating skills. And it was a lovely time. But just talking about the very beginning of the debate, it was two Gaels who are no longer with us, Donald MacLean and Johnny Alec McPherson, who came together with Alistair Morrison, who was MSP in the Western Isles at the time, and who thought that if we at the BBC and Radio Gael could work together and have this Gaelic debate and broadcast it every year. And Sina, Johnny Alec and Donald were very confident in this, and I'm sure they would be delighted to see the level that it's at now. It can hardly be believed that we have 16 teams participating nowadays. So, indeed, many congratulations. You've done fantastic work in preparing for tonight. And I hope as you go on that you maintain that confidence in the language and that you will add to the development. And I'm very hopeful of what will happen for the language. I'm delighted that you've done so much. And now, Ian Stephen, if you could tell us who is the winning team on this special year of 20 years of the debate. I would have to say again, it's so true, how close this was. And it was so difficult. But it's the winning team. The National Gaelic Schools Debate 2019 is Scoil Líanaclich. Ladies, Maurice Boyle, from Chief Operations Officer from Loganair, is here to present the prize. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would
you like to come up and receive the... If I might just say, on behalf of Loganair, I've been hugely impressed by the standard of debate tonight, obviously listening on the headphones, and I think that the standard of debate's just been fantastic. I have to say, I think you could teach some of our leaders at the so-called leaders' debates a thing or two in terms of the way they've conducted themselves. But for me, I can see that the language is in great hands for the future. Thank you.
So congratulations to Scoilínigh, having won the National Gaelic Schools Debate 2019. Thank you all for participating in the competition. Now, to bring the formal matters of the Chamber to a conclusion, we'll hear from Kenneth McIntosh.
I also offer my congratulations, not just to the winning team, but to all the participants for making this 20th anniversary year so special and one to remember. I have to say it's a real pleasure to have young people grace this chamber with your enthusiasm, your passion, your humour and your debating skills. And I'd like to thank you very much. So, Bianach Leave.